So, it's the beginning of the day, my voice is still quite weird, and I've switched everything for the iPhone XS, SIM and all my apps. So, I'm ready to test out this iPhone in 2024. Again, this is probably one of the last years that this phone will be supported, so I want to see how's the experience on the iPhone XS. I know still that a lot of you guys use these phones, the iPhone XS, the iPhone X, and I want to tell you how good they are, and of course, are they still usable in 2024? I have a hunch that it will, but I want to test it out. Living a day in the life with the iPhone XS. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, let's get started. So, I obviously started my day taking my creatine. Yes, this is my morning ritual. I gotta do it every single day, and so, another day, another creatine shake. But, yes, let's go. I need to go to class, I'm super late. Let's just get going. Using the iPhone XS in 2024 is actually way more fun than the other iPhones. This has the newer iPhone X design, it has the no bezel treatment, it has Face ID, and yes, it's super fast, runs iOS 17, so listening to some music while I go to university on foot, easy, no problem there. Again, like I was telling you, having Face ID and the no bezel treatment just makes using this iPhone that much easier. Yes, it's very close to using the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So, again, if you have an iPhone XS, enjoy it, it's an amazing phone. Unlike the other videos with older iPhones, this supports AirPods just fine. As you were seeing, at this point the iPhone had 92%. And I took this time to respond to you guys. That's why I love my channel. That's what makes my channel alive. It's you, it's the community. So, thank you guys for watching these videos. I've gotten to university now, time to go to class. But with part of YouTube, it's over. So fast, I wish it was this way every time. So, class is finished for the morning. We are now midday, lunchtime. I will go home to have some lunch. And the iPhone XS is doing pretty well. Right now, it's around 45 minutes past midday, and I have 61%. So, yeah, I think it won't last the whole day, but I was expecting that. I was expecting that this phone would die around 6 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Like I was saying, I started the day at 8:30 and I've spent 40% of the battery. Not that bad. Again, 45 minutes past midday. I will get home and have some lunch. I'll talk to you when I get there. One weird thing that I found out while recording with the iPhone XS is that you cannot switch between the wide lens and the telephoto lens while you are recording. So you need to stop the recording with the one lens to switch the other. Kinda weird, but I think it was only introduced with the iPhone 11. So, I'm now back home and already had lunch. It's almost 2 p.m. now, so as you can see, about 2 p.m. And yes, I'm very happy with the performance until now of the iPhone XS. I've watched a bit of YouTube, and yeah, while I cooked, I used a bit of Instagram, Twitter, and now I only have like 35%. Let me see if I can show you better on the camera. Let me see if it can focus there. 35%, as you can see. So, yeah, I think this phone won't last the whole day. But that's the point. That's the point to prove to you guys how's the experience with the iPhone XS in 2024. This is from 2018. I bought this phone when it came out in 2018. And the battery percentage or the battery health is not the best. I think it's about 81%. And it's really good for a phone that is like 6 years old right now. But I think it is 82%. So having 82% of battery health, it's normal for people using this phone in 2024. Actually, it's quite good. So if you have an iPhone XS with 82% of battery health, this is the battery life you should expect when using the iPhone XS in 2024 with iOS 17. This has, I'm not sure, I think it's iOS 17.4.1. Yes, iOS 17.4.1. So what do you want me to tell you? 35% left on the battery side. I guess this won't last until the end of the day, but I think because of class, it maybe lasts until 6 p.m. I think 6 p.m. this iPhone dies. But that's no problem because I will be working out. I already have my stuff ready to go. I'm quite a bit late for class, and I think I will have to take an electric scooter to go to class. Quite fun. Just take a look and see. So, class is over. I'm now walking to the gym. Gym time, the best part of the day. But it's 3:30. I mean, it was 1 hour and a half about the class. And the iPhone only has like 19%. And I did not use the phone while in class. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it's 3:30 and only 19%. I guess having 4G is too much for this phone. So, yeah, let's buy some fruit and go to the gym and start my workout.
So, of course today's workout is going to be a chest day. Started with incline chest press, and here it's 3 sets of, I would say, a top set and 2 back offs. This was my top set with 35 kilos on each side. So take a good look. I'm speeding this up so it's not that boring, but again, I think in these workouts it's really important for you to focus on TUT, time under tension, and of course the most amount of range of motion possible. So always remember, try to go as near to failure as possible, so 2-3 reps or at least 1 rep shy of failure, and then of course never forget, go harder than last time. Of course it depends on your program, but again, I just like to train to failure. As my second exercise, I did this neutral grip chest press. So yes, this is almost like simulating the machine, but I like to do it here on the bench with the 2 dumbbells because it gives me more range of motion, more freedom for my shoulders. I just feel better doing this exercise instead of the machine. So do what you like, do what you feels better. Then of course I moved on to the chest flies. Here on the pec deck, I just simply here just like to go to failure. 3 sets to failure. On the other one were again 3 sets, one top set, 2 back offs. Here it's just 3 top sets to failure. This exercise just burns on your chest. After finishing chest, I went for do triceps. On the triceps, quite simple. Tricep push-downs and rope tricep push-downs. Again, always focus on the range of motion, controlling the movement, controlling the weight, and of course, contract. Just push the weight down, go harder than last time, and your triceps will grow. As for the second tricep exercise, I like to change it up a bit every single workout. Normally, I like to do single arm tricep pushdowns. I can focus more on the exercise. Here, I did some rope pushdowns. It's different. Well, for biceps, at this point, I just want to do what it works. And for biceps, it's simple. Curls. The classic curl exercise is the best bicep exercise out there. Trust me. Focus on the peak contraction of the movement, control the weight down, and your biceps will grow. And then you can vary. Like, for example, you can introduce a different bicep curl on a bench, lying down, to give you even more range of motion. Control the weight down always using the biceps. Focus on the peak contraction. Mind-muscle connection is the most important part for you to grow your muscles, especially a small muscle like the bicep. So, bad news guys, it started raining and I don't have an umbrella, so I will get a bit wet, let's just say that. As for the iPhone XS, well, I haven't checked in a while because I haven't used it in a while, in 2 hours or something. 12%, and it was off, not using it. So, not great of a news. Let's go back home and take a shower. So, now we have some time to talk about the iPhone XS core features. This iPhone was launched in 2018 and had the same design as the iPhone X. This is an OLED display with 60 Hz. On the back, we have a dual camera system, a wide lens and a telephoto. And of course, one thing that I love about this iPhone XS is the glass back. Looks insane. Yes, looks amazing, just looks the iPhone X, and the iPhone X's design was my favorite. Of course, the front, you have the Face ID, the notch design, no bezel treatment, and on the back, we have the Lightning port. So, yeah, those are the core features of the iPhone XS. As for the battery life, we have about 12% now, not the best. As for the special features on the camera side, we have the telephoto and the wide lens, and on the portrait side, you have the firstly introduced studio modes. The iPhone XS was the first time that we had the natural light, portrait light, and the different lights for portrait mode. Big feature, kind of a gimmick. Then of course we have video. You can shoot 4K 60 frames per second video here. No log, no ProRes, none of those cinematic modes, nothing. Simple, reliable 4K 60 video. This is the rear camera test on the iPhone XS. This is a 4K 60 video and I think it looks pretty good for a 6-year-old iPhone. I think that the iPhone has the best video in general. For comparison, this is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So, what do you think? Do you notice lots of a difference? This is being shot on 4K. This is being shot on 4K, 30 frames per second, log. So, yes, a bit more quality, a bit more dynamic range, but especially a lot less processing, a lot less sharpening, and I think looks much better. But let me know in the comments below if you notice any difference from the rear camera video. This is a front camera test of the iPhone XS. Let me know in the comments below how it looks. This one, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you notice any difference. So, bad news. Remember that I told you like 10 minutes ago, in my time, that the iPhone had 11%? Well, it just died. No more battery. Yep, that's the problem with 6-year-old batteries. They're not that reliable. So, 10 minutes later of taking some photos that you saw, taking some video, it's dead. So, it's about 7 PM now, and the iPhone is completely dead. I need to charge it up again. So, not bad actually for an iPhone XS, which for starters did not have that great of a battery life, and 6 years later with a 20% degradation. Almost throughout the whole professional day, let's just say that. If I had to work between 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 job, I had no issues with the iPhone. And remember, I did not charge this phone, even when I had the possibility. So when I was at home, during lunch, I had the possibility, I didn't do it. So again, what did I do? I left it to die, and it died at 7 PM. Not that bad. So going back home, taking a bath, and putting the iPhone XS to charge. I bet it will charge pretty fast. On my way home, I stopped at the supermarket to get some groceries, some basic stuff, some bread, some fruit, and yeah, tired, with no battery on my phone. Jeez, it's really time to go home, take a bath and relax a bit. So, let's do it. So, I will be going out with friends now, totally forgot to mention that, and the iPhone XS is a bit charged. I think it's about 40%, so I hope it lasts whole night. But yes, let's go to dinner, I'm hungry, I'm starving, and let's test out the iPhone XS at night. The iPhone XS does support Carplay. Wireless, wired, it does not matter. That's up to your car manufacturer. But yes, it's actually really easy. You need a lightning cable. In the case of my car, you connect it to your iPhone XS, and yeah, after connecting your cable, you just need to unlock your iPhone. After you unlock your iPhone, you will be prompt on your car to activate the Apple CarPlay. You accept the prompt and you have already Apple CarPlay on your car. So the iPhone XS supports it just fine. It runs a bit laggy, I need to actually say that. It runs a bit laggy sometimes when using the maps, but other than that, it runs just fine. So the fact that it does support iOS 17 gives you almost anything that the newer iPhones have. So, after a very fun night, I decided to lay off a bit, watch some YouTube, relax, and of course, get ready to bed. Shout out to Jesse James West, his channel is super fun to watch, incredible. Great job, Jesse. Yes. The day is over with the iPhone XS. So, yeah, this iPhone actually surpassed my expectations. I did not expect this iPhone to do so well. I mean, I was expecting that this challenge would be easier than my other videos, because again, the iPhone XS is still supported on iOS 17. So, it does feature most of the most recent actual features from iOS 17. Again, the iPhone XS is truly a value king in 2024. And according to rumors, we are getting iOS 18 on the iPhone XS. So every single device that features iOS 17 will be supported on iOS 18. This means that the iPhone XS will get an extra year of support on top of the 6 years that I already got from 2018. So yeah, I'm very happy with the performance of this phone. The only thing was I needed to charge it twice in one day. I charged it first in the night and got it around 100% by the beginning of the day, like I showed you. And then it died around 7 p.m. I had to charge it again, about 38%. And right now, it's 12%. And I haven't used this phone that much. Again, a little bit of Carplay for directions while driving, a little bit of music, and that was it. But the thing that surprised me most on this phone was actually the camera. The camera quality, the display quality, the overall experience with this iPhone. It's still very close to my iPhone 15 Pro Max. And it's not a compliment to the iPhone XS more than it is maybe a little bit of a question for Apple of the iPhone 15 Pro. Yes, the iPhone XS still feels like 80% the experience of the iPhone 15 Pro. So if you have an iPhone XS, you are not missing out on much. If you don't really care about the camera, if you don't really care about the new design and 120 Hz, there's not that much of a difference between the iPhone XS and the iPhone 15 Pro. And these are 6 years apart. This just shows you how much the smartphone industry is matured. But again, there are a lot of differences between the iPhone XS and the iPhone 15 Pro if you really look at it. The cameras, this only has dual cameras, this has triple camera system. This has a 40 megapixel sensor, a 5x telephoto, and an amazing 0.5 ultra-wide camera. This has only a 1x wide camera and a 2x telephoto. But if you really analyze it, the wide camera here is a lot more wider than on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But this one here is equivalent to 24 millimeters, while here I would say this is about an 18 millimeter camera. Quite weird. If you look at photos, you can actually notice really well the difference, and actually in video also. So I would say that the iPhone 15 Pro Max camera is top notch, the best in the business. I record all of my vlogs with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and you can actually not notice the difference between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and a mirrorless camera anymore. I mixed in footage from my Sony a6700, and I mixed in footage from my iPhone. Most of the footage was from my iPhone. Outside, vlogging, on the gym was from my iPhone, while the rest of the footage at home was via the Sony. Could you notice the difference between the iPhone and the Sony? I mean, the color grading, the log footage here is just incredible, and I love it on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is my perfect secondary camera. But enough of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. This day was focused on the iPhone XS. And the good things that I had to talk about it I already did. This display, a very thin bezeled 60Hz display that is also OLED, introduced on the iPhone X, is an amazing choice for the iPhone XS. And I really like this very small form factor. Again, this, I would say, size of my hand display, it's perfect. This is a 5.8-inch display, and I love the size of this phone. And then, of course, I had this case, this leather case from Apple. Back then, they were really good, until the iPhone 14s, when Apple killed it. But on the back of this leather case, there's a very amazing glass back design. This design is beautiful, is unmatched, super comfortable to hold in your hand, easy to grab, very comfortable to actually hold. It's not sharp, it's comfortable, it just morphs into your hand. The stainless steel frames feel super premium steel. This phone still feels like $1,000 worth in materials in 2024, which is actually amazing because this phone now costs around $200. And having a phone this premium in 2024 with iOS 17 for that cheap is actually amazing. And then there's the cameras. Again, a dual camera system that can record amazing video still in 2024. I bet that if you put this video, this 4K 60 video against Android video of this year or the year before, 2023, you would probably prefer the iPhone because it's super natural, the colors are great. Low light video is not as good as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, especially as the iPhone 15 Pro Max. See, the difference between this car and the same car on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is insane. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max, you can really notice the car and see what brand it is. It's an Audi. While here, you cannot see anything. You just can see some part of a shade of a car. But the differences between low light video on the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the XS are huge. The only thing that I would say that kind of bothered me was the battery life and the Lightning port. And the funny thing is that the Lightning port is a common feature between the iPhone XS and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So if I even used last year's iPhone, I would say the same thing. The Lightning port is annoying because I need to carry out two cables, one for my iPhone, one for my Mac or iPad or camera. So yeah, it's kind of annoying having not just the same port everywhere. Now I can carry out one single cable, one power brick, and I can actually charge everything. While with the iPhone XS, I was stuck with a Lightning cable everywhere. And then there's the battery. The battery was probably the worst experience with the iPhone XS and probably the weakest part of your experience if you decide to buy an iPhone XS. Be reminded that my iPhone XS is from 2018. I bought it in 2018. But still, like I told you during this vlog, it still has 80% of battery health, which is really, really good. While the iPhone XS came out in 2018, most of iPhone XSs out there will be much, much lower. Either you replace the battery or you have a terrible, terrible battery health. But like I told you, this phone lasted me around from 8 a.m., half past 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. So almost 12 hours of battery life. I mean, I can tell you the quick stats, but it was not certainly 12 hours of battery life, but it was quite a lot. So today I had, 3 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time. It's my normal screen on time, but I don't know if you can see these graphs. It looks good. Screen off was 2 hours and 46 minutes. Most of it was YouTube, Instagram, camera, Bolt, YouTube Studio, Mail app, background activity, play music, X. I wouldn't say that this represents a power user's experience, but I would say this represents most of people's experience. So if you can still get 3 hours and 20 minutes of screen on time plus almost 3 hours of screen off time, background activity on the iPhone XS with iOS 17, I mean, if you are not a power user, if you are a light user, you might end up actually having the iPhone XS battery last you all day. But if not, you can always charge it at lunch. You can always charge it while driving your car. I purposely did not do that. I wanted to test out the battery. I wanted to test out this battery in specific. But like I told you before, this has 82% of battery health and still lasted a very long time. So yeah, it wasn't the worst battery experience that I've had on these old iPhones. So in general, this iPhone actually behaved really, really well. I was not expecting this iPhone to do so well. But it's not understandable. Again, it still features iOS 17. So if you want to use an iPhone XS in 2024, it isn't actually a challenge. It's still very possible. Most of you probably have iPhone XSs or even older. And if you're looking to buy a cheap iPhone, the iPhone XS might be an option. So thank you guys for watching. Drop a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. This has been Tech Consumer talking to you here. Bye-bye.